you doing, Tom?
Alright. Just come in and switched on this minute.
Alright. I just started listening down the bottom end. Somebody's posted that the OJ0 was on there, but I can't hear it, so that was wishful thinking or what, I don't know. Or whether they were trying to get him on there. He's supposed, excuse me, also supposed to be on 80 metres. CW, that is, on both. Anyway, I can't hear now. Only them local blokes from Hallway. So, how's your day been?
Oh, it's the same as any other bloody day. So I went and got, the only thing I've done, I went and got some paint. The lad just actually, it was more like scouring. He moved my car up and run it alongside the fence, and anyway I give it a good rub down, and I got some paint made up. So it's a bad, it's quite good paint, it's 12 quid. Tell them what the number is, and you know, and everything, and they mix it the right colour. And it's in a spray. So I got that and some wet and dry, give it a good rubbing down, and it's got sort of 95% of it. You'd have to look close to see where it had catched it.
Is this your new car? Well, new-ish. You've had it a couple of years now, I suppose, haven't you? Is this a new car or what's the other one? An Audi or... No, it's not an Audi. I can't remember what it is. Is this the new one or the older one?
Oh, it's that old Audi. It's 20 years old. That Audi TT, four-wheel drive with quattro.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what it was. I know you've talked about it a few times, so, oh well, that's a good job done by the sound of it.
Yeah. Well, and then I called at my mate at farm and ordered some hay. That was about it. I'll tell you what I did as well. I changed my bed. I went upstairs and took the bloody duvet cover off and the sheets and everything and put them in the bloody washer and put them back.
Oh, a bit of domestic as well, eh?
I have to do.
Of course.
I've myself since I was 14. I bloody left home when I was 15, me. You know, and I went back again. Couldn't stand my father, could I? I couldn't see eye to eye. Fucking miserable old sod.
You don't reckon it's rubbed off them?
Oh, he was a tight old sod. He'd spent this Hollywood.
I'm not saying that.
But he was miserable with it as well.
Yeah, okay. And you're not?
No, have you ever known me any different? You've never seen me in a bad mood or anything like that, have you? I'm just nasty all the time.
Yeah, but you, like me, you still have a laugh, don't you? So that's, you know, it's got to be good. It's good for you anyway to laugh.
Oh, you talking about having a laugh, has Eric been on?
Oh, no, I don't know, because like I said, I'd only just come off 20 metres, and I went and I didn't hear anybody on here, so I haven't heard anybody, but that doesn't mean to say that there hasn't been anybody on, because, hey?
Dave said he was going to come on, like, you know. He said he was going to see his mate Howie, and then he was going to come on, like, you know. I can just imagine them two when going. Can you imagine Dave and Howie going to school together, holding hands and skipping along the road?
Well, I've not met Dave, but I've met Howley. He said he was coming on 80 metres, and he never turned up. But I did speak to Howley and Dave from. Oh, you wouldn't know him from. Oh, you might do. From Robin odd country. I can never remember where he is. Something in Ashfield Way somewhere, I think. Alan came on. But no sign of Dave, but he said he was going to come on, but it's a bit early for him yet on here, isn't it?
Yeah, and what's happened to Wooden Bassett?
Don't know. Haven't got a clue.
And he's had a bereavement and what have you know, so, I was talking to Farmer today. He said, bloody corn, he said, it's barely, he still hasn't cut it yet. He said, half of it's lying flat with rain. We had that much rain up here. And he said, not only that, he said, the blinking pigeons, and you're not allowed to shoot them now. But he says, you can get special dispensation. He says, a mate across the way, a mate across this other field, he says, he's got other field at the other side at Marsh. He said that he's got special dispensation to shoot wood pigeons. And I says to him, I says, Harry, I says, I'll sort them out for you. He says, well, how will you get rid of them? I says, I'll sort them out for you. I said, somewhere else I'll get a picture of mother-in-law. I says, you stick it up in the field, keep her away. He slapped his head off.
Yeah, I thought they'd lifted that nonsense about you couldn't shoot pigeons or crows or... But it's happening round here. It's starting to get knocked down. It's starting to go black. There are one or two starting to cut it, but they'll probably have a mad purge this coming weekend. It's supposed to be hot, isn't it? Isn't it supposed to be? Well, somebody said 30 degrees. I can't see it getting that hot, but it might do. But even if it gets, even if it stays dry, it's been dry today, but it's looked like it's going to rain all day long, but we haven't had a spot.
Yeah, same here. It rained last night, but it looks like it should. It looked like it would have rained tonight, but there's no come. You reckon in the next few days we're going to have a few days of hot weather, you know? Yeah. And that was about it then, and I did note after that. Yeah. What are you worried about this Oscar Juliet to us? It's not market rate, is it?
Yeah, I haven't worked it on two bands. I haven't worked it on this band, and I think 12. I don't know without looking. I know I haven't worked it on this band, but I don't usually work... Well, I do work CW, but usually after I've worked them on FFB. But I know I haven't worked it on this band, and I think the other band is 12 metres.
Hi, Menno.
Hello. How you doing, John?
Making an artist and plenty of it.
Well done.
The only way to travel.
Yeah. I've known you for yonks, mind you, because I haven't been on. I have heard that you've been on, but early, I think.
Good evening.
Hello, Mike.
Mark, yes, I was calling from about 20 past 10 from people, but... And of course I even called Basildon on CW. Very slow.
I think that was just been a bit of a waste of time. Well, I don't know. He might recognise his own call, so I don't know.
Well, he would his own name.
Did you send it in Spanish, John?
He wouldn't recognise his call, of course, but it's in his new rig, the new one of mine. It hasn't got a reader in mine, but the new one, the SG, I think it's called, isn't it? It's got a CW reader in there, but the only problem is, can't see when he's in bed.
You okay, John?
Well, yes, marvellous. Watching the cricket today, I was well pleased.
Good.
dropped that right for tomorrow?
Are they who?
Have they dropped that bloke that got one in that right? Roy, his name is somewhat Roy. He got one in first innings and out for duck second.
Roy Rogers you're talking about?
No. Tom bloody Mix, you daft sod. Does Lincoln cricketer Roy or something, he reckon he's alright on one-day cricket, but he's been useless in test matches so far. You must know it's something Roy's his second name.
Yeah. Did you listen to the cricket or watch it, John? I watched it. It was good, wasn't it? The score, I mean, 170, 180 for all out. Well, they could have got him before I forget how to pronounce his name, great big long, sounds like a Lithuanian name, but doesn't sound like an Aussie name at all, but there is, he got about 80, I think, which, and really they missed a couple of catches, they could have had him out prior, but it was good. Let's hope that the rain stops off tomorrow.
What do you mean he got 80? I thought you watched it, he got 74.
I said getting on for 80. Why don't you clear your blinking ears out?
Oh, you didn't. You said he got 80, didn't you, lads? He said he got 80.
Oh, does it make any difference? What are you just splitting hair for? If you're saying I watched it, I watched it, Sam. I've got no reason to say I never watched it, if I did watch it.
Calm down.
Well, yeah, it's like it being I mean, I send you a text and you want to know if I've been to college, because you do a test to make sure that all the commas are in the right. I never knew I was passing an exam.
John, you want my side-by-side or over or under, or will the pump action do for him?
We know.
The Vickers.
I'll tell you something, you look at my test report and the teacher, where I was at Trinity College. You look at...
Oh, look at this.
Best thing you can do, Johnny, switch off and come back again.
Ian Hall from G4KDH. Hello, Ken.
Hello, Ken. Well, we know what to do with Smith. Hit him on the head. Hello, Ken. Yes, you watch my life and livelihood, and in particular the composure of my texts and things, better than... When I was at Trinity College, the professors never jumped into it that deep, but you go to every dot that you've got to pass. I've got to pass an exam before I send you an email. Oh, Jesus. It's happened to down 5, guys.
Hello, Rob. Hey, I didn't have text anyway then, John. That must have been back in the days of a piece of slate and a bit of chalk.
Yeah.
Good evening, Bob. We don't want any of them long drivers.
Whatever you do, if you've got your spats on, you'd be really in trouble.
Don't want any long overs off you tonight, Bob.
You ready, Ken? We'll all talk together.
Well, it's already happening, but I shouldn't worry too much.
Don't happen. It happens in the pub.
I reckon, Tony, you look smart in a pair of +4s, you know.
Yeah, you could join in as well, Ken.
Yeah, thanks.
How did you get on with Debbie?
All right, she's gone on holiday. I won't see her for 3 weeks. She's gone to Michigan.
Oh, dear.
Did you
give her a bonus?
Did you give her anything to go with, Ken? Hey? Did you give her anything to go with, you know, and any extras? I said, oh.
Steady, boy, steady.
Yes. Well, son-in-law comes from Michigan, so they're going out there. Her husband, Andy, that's the second husband. He's never been Michigan way, so... And she's taken her dad as well. No monkey business there, then.
Nothing to say you then, Ken.
No, she didn't invite me.
Oh dear, what have you done wrong then?
Let me passport run out.
it's renewing it.
Double.
Yeah?
Hello.
How long's she going for?
About 2.5 weeks. Oh. I'll be without it for 3 weeks, I know that. Oh, you'll have to do all of the cleaning up now, then. No, I'm knocking up and I'm going to live out here. Oh, that's all. Don't blame you.
Good idea. Only he'll do your bedding for you. He's done his today. He's changed his bed with a pitchfork.
He stuffed his pally ass, did he?
I don't know. He got all that straw in the blinking washing machine.
Was there anything alive in it, Tony?
Oh, no. I'll tell you what, you know, I'll have to get some of this modern stuff. I'm sick of them out there, my blanket.
Oh, yeah, they're like making you itch a bit.
It's the buttons on the greys that do you. They keep catching your leg on the buttons. After a while, they get sharp.
He had a duvet, but he got fed up at doing the buttons up round his neck each night.
Yes, I'd like to see Tony wearing a duvet.
Yeah, Basildon's well, but he got turned down.
Yes. He has problems with that extra toe, though, covering it up.
Anybody heard Eric? No.
No, I haven't heard him.
It wasn't 2 nights ago.
Oh, was he?
Yes, he was on... I was just trying to think whether he was on last night or not. You spoke with him a couple of nights ago, didn't you, John?
No, I haven't been on. Might have been on last night, you know, Ken.
Sorry?
I've got a feeling he might have been on last night.
He wasn't on last night.
He was on one night and he spoke for a short while to Dave up at Stoke. And then I thought you came on, John, but I don't know, maybe...
No, I haven't been on for about 5 days.
Huh?
It's quite a while, isn't it, John? It is.
5 days.
I like listening to you two.
Who?
John and Eric.
Oh, I don't.
No, I know you don't. But I do. That's nice, I said.
What are you on about? What are you on about, Mike?
Well, yeah.
Every time they come on, the only thing I can hear you snoring.
And, you know, the rapport is good. But it's not everybody's cup of tea.
No.
Not what you were saying last week.
Oh.
Well, Eric said something that upset me.
Oh. Oh. Well, if you don't like a cup of tea, maybe you for coffee? Yeah.
Everybody says things about me, but no, it upsets me.
Yeah, but, I mean, they're all true.
As long as we don't start talking about drills.
Oh, me old mate Fred is having a go at me.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I don't like all this because I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about football and cricket, and I don't know anything about Brexit. So I just don't listen when you're talking about that. I go and do something else. It's as easy as that, isn't it?
Well, Boris is supposed to be having a look at the canals in a fortnight. I'm going to pop up. Let me tell you about angle grinders, Fred. You can show him your erection.
If I can get one.
Or one of your automatic screwing things.
I used to be able to do that.
Oh, get an erection.
Oh. No, screw.
What? What are you on about? Oh, Corbyn, he keeps every day shouting in Parliament wants erection.
Oh, dear.
See, he wants to know why Merkel is in recession, and she's telling us what to do, shall we? Put her in a place, and she's agreed with him.
Well, I think everybody's gone into everybody and everything. The third Keith's audio lately has gone into recession anyway.
Yeah. I wonder what he's doing back there. He sounds as though he's in like talking down a toilet roll.
Well, I've heard him, and I've heard several people tell him, and he makes every excuse up under the sun and hasn't done nothing about it. And it sounds awful.
I reckon you should send him one of your microphones.
Oh, God, here we go.
What's that?
It's mine.
It's not my mic, that's somebody. Other recording, I expect, going on.
That's somebody who sleeps in a box. People rustling when he turns over.
I thought it was somebody talking with pox.
He's got a box. When his dad puts him to bed, he has to put little holes in it so you can just see his eyes poking through the box.
Like a Peking duck.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And that was him rustling. All the old paper goes in his bed, and that was him turning over to have a peep to see if his dad was coming.
Yeah, they get Terry's to rustle his bed up a bit with the pitchfork.
That was all the sweet wrappers.
Absolutely right. That was me. I put... I forgot to turn the box off.
Well, Mike.
Bloody hell.
Sorry. We've had one today, Mike. Yeah. Anyway, I'll get watching the blinking telly tomorrow, the match, because Tony won't believe you if you do. Well, now Smith isn't in it. I mean, he's about the difference. I mean, you had 144 onto their score, and that's about what they've been getting. Anyway, we better not talk about the cricket no more, because Fred doesn't like it. He'll be jumping in the cot.
But maybe, could it be that because Tony's up north, that, perhaps it takes the signal for the TV a bit longer, so the score may be different for a little while.
No. I always like to be right. Well, I like other people to say what they mean. Round about this and about that and near enough and not fair enough and, you know.
Oh dear, it's something that if you're brought up with it, then you like it, like anything else. I can remember, Fred, the Worcester ground. Every single year, do you remember in the winters, every single year you used to flood the cricket ground right up to where the balcony, up the top of the balcony steps. Can you remember that?
Yes, we had a grass track function there the one year, and we didn't think we'd be able to have it because it was exactly like that. Even on the night that we had it was completely covered right the way up there. And the week previous to that, I don't think you could go over the bridge at all.
No. Hey, Mike.
Yeah?
Have you bought any new drills lately? I don't like listening to this stock car racing.
I Now, yes, you're right. I bought a set of, I think it's about 4 or 5 drills in a little plastic box. And you can use a normal drill, not
I think we should talk about Brexit now.
padlock, a handle of an adjustable spanner.
Talk about Brexit, Fred.
Brick, stone. You know, it drills through anything. I really just don't know. I mean, it looks sort of like an ordinary masonry drill to me, but I ain't got a clue, mate.
That's fine, that.
I'd like to know where all your holes are that you're drilling, all these holes in your house. It must be like a bee's hive.
I wouldn't like him loose in a boat, John.
Well,
no.
when he had the angle grinder and the saw, he cut his bloody shed in half, and then he had to buy a box of screws to screw it all back together again.
Hey, what about that?
Yeah.
And what about if you lived in an
Fred,
house?
don't invite him down on your boat with a drill.
No, one, it's all right. It's a submarine, but I'll never be able to get it up. You know, I'll never be able to get up to get the periscope up.
Put some puddling clay in it.
I'll tell you what, I hope you aren't getting a chainsaw.
I've got some white blue tack. Well, they call it white tack, don't they? White tack? Yeah, well, it's blue tack, but it's coloured white now.
Is it that blue stuff you have put around your balls when you've got problems?
I think it's what the bookies use. I've never put blue tack round my balls.
I usually put high melting point grease or lithium grease.
Yeah, well, high melting point grease is a very useful commodity.
Of course it is, especially on ball bearings.
Yep.
Well, that's what I was thinking of when you were talking about balls.
Yes, of course.
Well, they could be rollers.
Yeah, or needles.
Yes, or needles. Tapered.
Yeah.
Well, we don't need to go into find out what's his name on engineering now.
Let's change that one then.
Yeah.
I find it very interesting when you're talking about your JCB jobs and things you did, Tone. I find it very interesting when John talks about Africa and the things he got up to. Ken, and when he had the shop and what he does, and Fred when he talks about what he did. So I'm just lucky. I like people talking.
Yeah. Do you like listening to Basildon when he talks about what he's done?
About work.
When Basildon talks about work, you'd have to be listening for a very long time. Well, when Basildon doesn't talk, does he? He snores.
I think he must be on holiday or something.
Could be.
You mean he's been on holiday? He's been on holiday since 1972.
A permanent one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. At the year he was born.
Oh, he worked until he was 16, didn't he? But when he was 14,
enough.
he had a paper round.
Oh, I see. He couldn't complete that. Missing out number 13 and number 7. Never mind. He's a nice lad. But that's right, he's never grown up.
Pushing sporting life to Victory Store instead of Warcry.
Oh, you're a nice lad, Tone, and so's John. So's Ken, so's Fred, so's Eric. I mean, they're all nice blokes, so's Pete.
You've upset bloody Tony Preston now, Mike.
Hey, John, are you still there?
I am, yes. Yes,
Before he except after sea.
Yes. You know that, Tony.
What did you say, Tone?
You're telling me.
You tell him, you said it. I don't know what's that got to do with anything that we're talking about?
I said when you're spelling I before E, it's after C.
Yeah? What are you trying to say?
John keeps on me on about me flipping examining his email.
Oh?
No, but stick about it.
Has he made a spelling mistake?
I've mentioned it once. And that was tonight. I haven't mentioned it before. It was you who started it all off. But no, I don't keep on about it, so I've only mentioned it tonight.
Who started it off, Fred?
Who started what off?
Spelling job.
Well, who's made a spelling mistake then?
It's about spelling. I just made a comment on the other day how well it was his punctuation, exclamation marks and commas and all in the right places on his email. And I asked him where did he learn such good grammar. And since then, he took it in a bad way. He's making me like I'm a bit of a picking at him.
Oh, yeah. No, you were on about a CW, weren't you? When you said about putting commas and full stop, I thought you were on about a CW.
Oh, I weren't on about it, Charlie Whiskey. I'm about the emails he sent.
Oh, I don't know. How do I know?
You won't bloody know anyway.
You can always put the commas in and things like that.
If any word's longer than 4 letters, you're buggered, Fred.
I am, yes. I can't help that. Once I managed to get to this stage, I'm not going to worry now, Tony. Good God.
I agree with you, Fred. If you can get the message across, that's all you need to do.
Well, I think I'll get to bed. I've started off World War 4.
No, you haven't.
Go on, Tone, have a go.
You haven't upset me.
All right.
Oh, I'll try a bit harder then.
Are you using that Yaesu SL7000 these days, Fred? Do you use it?
Not here. I'm only running about 30 watts here. But yes, I have. I've used it a few times. Mike, no problem.
You know when your nose just grown then, Fred? Did he like your cup of tea off the neck?
Yeah. What's your second name, Pinocchio?
I just he was trying to catch me out.
I'm so glad it worked for you, Fred.
Can't believe it.
Oh, dear.
What about that, Charlie? That was a good statement, wasn't it?
I don't know. I could say that and keep a straight face.
I should be getting more 8 miles again tonight.
That's the M3 you've been teaching him. The American said, "You're the strongest man on the band." He said, "Yeah, but I'm an M3, I can only run 10 watts." When are you due to go abroad again, John? Hopefully another trip before Christmas. Good. Might take Tony with me, my mate. That would be nice. Not Baz, Tony Preston. Oh, don't take him to the land of the pygmies, will you? Because, they'll adopt him.
You must be joking. I don't want to finish up in a cooking pot.
You couldn't take baths, could they? Because they shrink your head and eat your brains. Well, they wouldn't. They'd be able to shrink his head, but they wouldn't have no supper.
That's okay.
They'd have trouble waking him up.
He's a member of the Fakawi tribe.
Well, I hope that Bear Graham base, it's been going down at Ken, and I reckon he must have snuffed it in that bed. It's a long time since he's been on.
Of course, you don't usually go on today anyway, do you, Ken? Because of Debbie, I suppose. But you normally... What don't you normally talk to him in the afternoons or something?
Well, whenever he sends me a message to say that he will be on, or will be on, that's Graham in here, he always lets me know when he's going on. So he obviously arranges it first with Graham, and then he lets me know, you see.
Well, if you let me on, let me know. I'll listen in and maybe join in if I can hear you all well.
It's not that long since he's been on here, though. He was talking to Eric one night, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yes, I thought I heard him one night talking to Eric.
It's been about a week, though.
Yeah, probably a week, but no, I don't think it's any more.
He even stopped sending emails to Welsh Day.
Well, he has problems sending emails to me.
Oh, Welsh Dave has trouble understanding the English.
Oh, I see.
No, Dave only has trouble with Wells.
Anyway, all joking apart, we'll be... what time's the cricket on tomorrow? 11 o'clock, John?
10 o'clock British summer time, 11 o'clock UTC.
Jesus Christ, I didn't want to lecture.
10 o'clock. Anyway, Horlicks.
Yes, it'll soon be coming round to that time of year when most people that like Horlicks will be having it anyway.
I always finish up with some... I don't know why, mate. I always finish up with a solid lump at bottom of cup.
That was a nice double.
Also a double.
I always finish up with a solid lump at bottom of cup.
What, of Horlicks?
Yeah.
Well,
you don't mix it properly, do you?
yeah,
The art of stirring.
yeah, it's like me, I don't know whether it's not cocoa, because cocoa's bitter. I have, I don't know I have some kind of drinking chocolate every night, and I used to have a drop of brandy in it, and I have a long spoon in it, and I keep stirring it all the time that I'm drinking it, because that tends to settle on the bottom if you don't.
How do you stir it up while you're drinking it?
Well, it's difficult.
With his tongue.
Especially when I'm telling a bit of a porky, because my nose gets in the way over the top of the cup.
Or in the cup.
There used to be at bottom of Aston Street in Preston, Mrs. B's Temperance Fair, and they'd all these big jars like little barrels they were. Dandelion and burdock and cream soda and all that lot, and you could get a cup of Horlicks here in Temp, and the guy used to do it, your husband, and he had like a mixer thing, and he'd be pumping away at it it took him bloody ages to make a cup of Horlicks.
I think you also had consumption, because that's where the lunch was at the bottom.
You know these card shops, the birthday cards, whatever. On display, you never believe it, Christmas cards.
Never.
What, already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in the front window, Christmas cards. We're down here in the supermarket. Well, I never. You know them big tins and albums? They got all them out on the shelves all them.
Good God.
Barry?
It's no use talking about Christmas cards on this net. It's 3 months away.
Oh, yeah, you might have nobody to send them to,
Some way. What makes you think you'd buy any, John?
I mean, most of us don't even buy long life biscuits.
A minute ago, I'll tell you, I heard how green was my valley.
How much is a first class stamp, Tony?
First class stamp, about 10p.
God almighty. That doesn't even get the bloody edge, the white edge on off the perforations.
Dave's joined us.
Who?
Welsh Dave.
What, Dave's joined?
I'm sure I heard him.
No.
Never.
That was somebody laughed. That wasn't bah.
Notice that they've said they're going to, at the shop up the top there, they said that they're going to see the milkmen are going to start coming round again with buckles. I don't know if you've heard the same.
Yeah, I saw it somewhere, John. That must have been on the internet somewhere. That's because of all the plastic and stuff, is it?
Yes. One started this week down here with glass bottles.
Could be. There's no way I'm going. You know, sometimes I packed up with milk fella about 10 years ago. I could buy a 4-pint bottle of milk at a supermarket for the same price he was charging us for a pint.
Yep. Yes, but he's got to put the petrol in, you know.
Yeah, but he didn't put it in the bloody milk where he delivered it to Tony.
Yeah, but then Tony don't consider contaminating him. Well, I don't have milk or cream in this coffee. I like it without.
I don't like coffee anymore. I don't know why.
Yeah, strange, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that was the easiest thing to make, and I always, I'll go and make a cup of coffee. But I just don't like it, huh?
Yeah, weird. You know, I'm like that with certain things.
I can't stand a cup of... I couldn't stand a cup of coffee. First thing when I get up in the morning, I've got to make myself a cup of tea. I couldn't stand... But after I've had a couple of cups of tea, once or twice through it day, I'll make a cup of coffee. But I could never... I can't stomach it first thing in the morning.
You're the same as me, Tony.
Well, now you'd think on the continent that's all they have is coffee, but... And they do during the day, but my Dutch friends, Pete and Ann, they always have tea first thing in the morning.
Do you think it's because you're using instant you've gone off it? Doug and his wife always had coffee in the morning. Okay, and that's 2 cans.
Go ahead, John. Ken, listen.
Do you think it's because you're using instant coffee instead of proper coffee? No, I use proper coffee in the... Poor old Ken, he's changed his voice again.
I'm a ventriloquist.
Coffee pot.
I can throw my voice anywhere from bloody Wales, England.
Oh, bollocks.
Ken, answer his question, will you?
Oh, I'm going to ask you to get that straight. So I was there, he keeps coming me back. He's interpreted. He's got a dummy sitting on his lap with, like Mike, and he keeps pulling his hand up his back.
Tony, you want me to answer a question?
Yeah, John's asked the same bloody question 3 times, but Mike keeps answering.
No, I don't know. I used to have percolated coffee, instant coffee. I just
Oh, that bloody weather station. Stopped. No, I just prefer tea.
Yeah, I like tea. Some get it out, that did. Gestapo.
I used to like Earl Grey tea, but I've gone off of that as well.
Yeah, I've never liked that. Like green tea?
Of it, I think, still indoors.
I like green tea, Ken.
No, not particularly. My in-laws always had, and I just, well, not lately I haven't, but tea, no milk, and just a slice of lemon in it.
I'll tell you what buggers me, John. I don't know whether it happened in your family, but my grandmother was there, my grandfather, my Auntie Polly across bloody road and everything. You went in and the flip it, you want a cup of tea, and it was almost stewed.
Yes, on the old... There's always on the fire on the corner, isn't there? In that place.
Oh, there's no bloody stewed tea.
My dad used to do that. He'd make a pot of tea in the morning, the first thing in the morning, especially after he retired and he was at home all day. And he had an aluminium teapot, and he used to put it on the core of the bloody gas stove, and it was there all day. And I had a cup of tea a couple of times, and it was so strong that it used to dry me mouth, and he asked me one day, he said, do you want a cup of tea? I said, no. I said, I don't like your tea, it's dry. He said, how the bloody hell can tea be dry? I said, well, I said, it's that strong. I said, it dries me mouth out.
Every time you would get good tea, Tony, is when the priest was coming round. And then it would be the special china out with a tea cozy over it.
They don't know what tea cozies are today, John.
No, but it was always proper tea, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
In other words, and then a strainer and a tea cozy, all the different patterns, some with ears.
Yeah.
They always knit a tea cozy, didn't they?
Yeah.
These silly tea bags in, did you?
No.
The lad that used to in our class usually come with a skewy one on his head.
You always used to take a bottle of cold tea to work with you, didn't you?
And they brought out teas made, and I can always remember when I had my teas made, especially in Africa, I used to pour the tea through the nylons.
Yeah.
It must have been a gobbling teas, mate. And I'll tell you another thing you used to see. If there were any guys in the street working, and they used to have the tea in them cans, didn't they? Them enamel cans, you know. And then they swing it round with their hand, like swinging it round for about 5 minutes.
Yes, a billy can that was, and they used to have a wooden thing like a broomstick with notches in, and they would go down where they was making it and bring back about 4 or 5 cans for the boys on that stick over the shoulder. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do it, believe it or not. I had a job once, and I got the sack because I had to brew the tea for these guys and what have you, and there was some wanted oxo, some wanted tea, and I got fed up. So one day I put the bloody lot in the pot.
Well, there's a good plan.
Yeah. Oh, that's not it. And everywhere was with those enamelled, everything, the mugs, enamel mugs, saucepans, teapots, kettles, everything was enamel in them days, wasn't it? And if you chipped it, the bloody thing would be spitting away for 10 minutes after you'd hit it and spot flying everywhere.
And they used to, in the naffy, Fred, they used to drill them, put a screw through them and drill them to the bench. What you see, and you bob in.
Yeah, try.
You turn around and all disappeared out the billy. All looking for the windows.
I once worked at a firm and they got these coffee machines and they had the plastic cups. And this firm used to use this glue. It was something like that, what's it bloody called? That petroleum glue. And the favourite trick was putting a bit on bottom of a plastic cup and putting it on the table. And when you come to pick up, bottom dropped out.
All the apprentices had to go through all that, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Christ, I can remember, yeah, having to go and wash all the bloody mugs up. Remembers whose mug was what? Yeah.
And half of them, they had them enamelled jerry billy cans as they were, and they were that brown inside that you could brew a brew without putting any tea in.
That's old billy can now, that was marvellous. The little lid on it, and you put your finger through, didn't you? It was about the lip on them that went inside was about half an inch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They wouldn't know what to do with them now, would they? We'll use them in Africa, of course, on your journeys through the bush. Similar thing.
As soon as you started work, your mother used to buy a canvas bloody gas mask bag for putting your lunch in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, to put your sandwiches in.
Oh, plenty of them about, wasn't there,
Everybody had them, didn't they?
Yeah, bloody everywhere.
I think Baz in Basildon, he still uses his gas mask. When he's in bed, in case there's a raid.
Yeah, but he puts his legs through the straps.
I remember as a kid having to wear them gas masks. Mine was a Mickey Mouse. Bloody horrible thing they used to wear.
First came out, and then they stuck another bloody another filter on it, didn't they, after a while?
Yeah, man, wasn't that easy to breathe through, neither, were they?
I honestly can't remember.
No, they wasn't easy.
Okay, I always remember when I did me square bashing, and there was a little hut. There was a football pitch, and the hut was alongside, and you went in there, you had a gas mask on, and there was this old primer stove and all this stuff bubbling. Then the old corporal, you had to take the bloody gas mask off. That was only tear gas, but Christ. And then you had to run round the football pitch.
Well, Basildon was, but when Baz goes to bed, she puts chloroform in it.
Why is Diane Abbott still wearing hers?
In the pants as well, she has one.
Oh, dear.
Just Jeremy keeps passing wind, Tony.
Stinker. I noticed that he's wearing somebody else's pants. It was
Basildon or Jeremy?
Jeremy.
Oh.
More mouth than the cow's got horses. There's all concertinas at the bottom, Fred, out there. And it looks as though there was these white suits on and all. I think he had Broads, because Broad's about 6'3", and he's 6'4", and I think he had his pants on by mistake.
He was up in Keswick today, and he was walking round this bloody muddy farm it was, and I think there were about 4 people there to greet him.
Is this the bloke that had odd shoes on?
Oh, that's Juncker.
Oh.
No, we're talking about Labour Prime Minister, Labour leader, Corbyn.
Well, if you've seen him, Fred, you just push him in the cut.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know one from the other, would I? I haven't seen, we don't have newspapers, and the only place I'd see it is if I looked on the internet, so I wouldn't know one from the other.
When you went to the cinema.
Recognise that's Johnson, isn't it? The blonde-haired bloke at London. What's he now?
He's the Prime Minister now.
Oh dear.
If Corbyn's about by the locks, I'll let you know and you can push him in.
Yeah. So you don't,
By the lock, push him
you
in by
don't
the
have any
lock.
newspapers, so what did he do, like? Do you have, like, stone slabs or something?
What was that, Tony?
Yeah, but does somebody deliver a stone slab we're writing on?
For what?
The newspapers.
No, we don't have one.
It doesn't go up in the mountains, you know, Tony.
Well, he's still got gas lights, and when he goes to bed, he's got a long white shirt on.
Hey, we've got no bloody gas here, John. There's no gas. We've got electric, that's all. We've got no water, well, no mains water.
Only pulling your leg, Fred.
No, but we haven't got gas.
Only pulling your leg, Fred.
You're better off in Africa than going round to Fred's bloody place, John.
Yes, we got to have all them mancrows, wasn't they? Remember you touched them and they all fell to pieces, Kev?
Yeah, they were all right there. They were all right until you burnt that, the first time, because that was sort of a cloth thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was. I can remember them when I lived in a council house after we moved out to the prefab, and we even had gas what are they called, in the kitchen, and one of them big crock sinks, but we got none of that here. This goes back 17 something, I think this place was built. It hasn't changed much.
I should have said I didn't know you were that old, Fred.
Them Belfast sinks are back in fashion now.
Hey, I've two in garage if anybody wants one.
We've got...
Hey, I'll tell you something, like, it's terrible this. They're talking about it comes on, give £3 a month to send water to Africa. And what? But it's poor Fred here and he's got no water. Do us a favour, Fred. Send me a picture of Anne carrying one of them big things on top of her head when she's been put water.
No, she's a bit cleverer than that. She carries plastic containers and she pushes them down the towpath in a wheelbarrow. And I'm not joking.
Can you send them to Dave? Can you send them around? Because he keeps forgetting where his well is.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about Dave's well, that's about 2 foot away from his septic tank.
Oh dear.
Fred, this is serious, mate. You've got no mains water?
No.
Where do you get your water from?
We've got a well, and I piped it to a big tank up in the top of the house. That feeds, we've got hot and cold water, we've got flush toilet. We used to drink the water, but then I found out that the canal was getting into it. It's probably okay now, because they concreted the wall outside the house, but the well was definitely getting contaminated by the canal at one time. So I stopped drinking it, and we've never bothered since, and of course, as you know, all the supermarkets sell water now, so... But just for drinking, we still use it for everything else, even cooking and everything. It looks okay, and... but I just don't like the thought of drinking it, but now that I know that the canal has been leaking into it.
Well, I drink, obviously, the water to make tea, but I don't drink the bloody water out the tap here. I don't know why, I mean, everybody else does, but it comes from a reservoir. When I lived in a village up in Essex, Brightlingsea, that was deep well water that we had. They reckon that came underground from Kent. That was well filtered through chalk then.
Yeah, well, when we first moved here, the council used to send a bloke every, I can't remember, it was every year or every 3 years, and they used to test it, and then they'd send you a report about it, and it was quite frightening, and I questioned it. This was when we did used to drink it, and I said, is this safe? He said, it's safer to drink that than what it is the tap water. He said the tap water, you know, people that have got tap water have got chlorine and all, have still got some of this iron and different stuff. He said, you haven't got to worry about that sort of stuff. He said it's when it's got E. coli and all that kind of thing in it that you've got to be careful, but... you wouldn't believe how much stuff, you know, when they do, when they analyse water, you wouldn't believe how many different things there are in it.
Oh, if you want your water testing, of course, you can just go to the doctors and they'll give you a little plastic thing.
Yeah, but this is before I drink it, Tony.
Still, I mean, if you're worried about your water, one can always boil it, can't they?
Yeah. Well, I reckon... Well, I can remember as a kid, we used to get water out of the flipping streams anywhere and drink it. I don't know whether you dare do that now, because... in them days, you used to get watercress growing in the streams. The two kinds of watercress, I can't remember seeing that for a long, long time now in any of the streams.
Well, funny enough you mentioning that, because there was a report today that all the rivers and the tributaries and the streams, not many of them now are clean. They're even, you know, up the top end of the Severn and places like that where used to be pristine, and they're all contaminated now, some from farms, putting stuff in, fish dying, but majority of it is the population, the increase of all this lot coming in.
Yeah.
And we can't control it. They just put stuff in the river. It's unbelievable the stuff that's going in.
Yeah. I can't believe it, John, and they're getting a bit stricter on the farmers as well, because the farmers for years have been forcing the crops with all sorts of stuff when when they spray the land and when they plant even when they plant the bloody corn. I said, what's this? I said, it's a funny colour, and he said, yeah, he said it's treated with a poison. He said, so that if anything eats it when we plant it, he said, doesn't mean. And I thought, well, all that goes into the ground. So I think they're tightening up now, but isn't it a bit late? I mean, all this has been going on for years and years.
Yes, it has. And of course, there's just too many people in the world.
Yeah. And when you think about it, they haven't done a great lot about our water supply, and they haven't done a great lot about the sewerage, where it all goes and everything, and everywhere is nearly double the population of what it was, isn't it? You know, even the villages and that, the population it's just growing and growing. There's no stop to it, is there?
When I used to work on reservoirs at one time, it was a fast job to get on, and the security, it was like trying to get into bloody nuclear power station. The security on them, nobody could go near them. Then they went private, and they opened them up for boating and fishing and God knows what. So, you know, so what's happening there?
That's very good. Well, I'm going to have a quick walk outside, and I think I'm going to turn in, so I wish you all a very good night. Lovely to meet you.
You're late tonight, John.
With the cricket tomorrow. See you later, boys.
Yeah, cheers, John, all the best.
Yeah, cheers, John. Good to have a chat with you.
Good night, John. You take care.
Yes, it makes you wonder where it's you know, where or when it's going to flipping end, doesn't it? All this, everything expanding. It's unbelievable. Well, I haven't been to Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury, however you want to pronounce it, for 25, 30 years, I suppose it was the last time I was there, and I couldn't bloody believe it. It's massive now, and it's still growing. It's still growing.
Well, it's like this area. I mean, once upon a time there was the village of Preston. There was Littlemore, and now the houses stretch from right the way along the road.
Yeah. I want to see it up here. I couldn't believe it. Like Chipping, you've heard of Chipping, Fred, a little isolated village, North Longridge there. And I haven't been up for donkey's years and went up for a meal. This country pub at Chipping, me and lad and what have you. All the bloody way up, it's about 11 miles, housing estate after housing estate up. I couldn't believe it. It used to be Arctic country. It's like, what, 10 or 11 miles, and it's all houses.
Yeah. The only thing is now, Tony, that the houses have got maybe 1 or 2 kids in on average instead of 13 or 14.
Yep.
My mum was one of 13 kids.
Yeah. Well, they're only looking at like the Bible because Jesus said, "Go forth and multiply."
Well, certainly they built so much property around here.
Well, they're still going up round here, Christ. The amount of farmland that's gone for building just recently.
Yeah. Same here, and all the big old factories that were knocked down, they're all houses as well now. Everything that gets knocked down, you go back a couple of months later and there's 4 or 5 houses there.
Yep.
All the pubs out in the countryside, they can't make a go of it because you can't drink and drive, and the beer's got that bloody expensive when you do go to these places. The only way they can make any money is by selling food. A lot of people don't like that, so they're just disappearing. There's dozens and dozens of them around here in the last 5 years, just gone.
£4.10 for a pint of Carling.
Well, my granddaughter went to Dublin a couple of weeks ago. £7.50 for a pint of Guinness.
Bloody hell. I used to, well, mind you, it was a long time ago. 2006, I used to pay £4.50 for a pint of Guinness in the Arsenal Stadium. Mind you, going down the Holloway Road, that was £3.50 because I've been in the odd pub there on occasions.
Yeah. The only place you can get a point now at the proper price is at a club, isn't it? Everywhere now, I reckon it's close to £4 a pint. You know, don't matter what you drink. Even and it's no cheaper to bloody drink Coke. And if you ask for water, they charge you for that as well. And you say, well, I'll have some out of the tap, and they look at you gone out when you say that.
Yeah, they don't charge us at the pub for water, but everything else they do.
Yeah, they do here. They sell you a bloody bottle of it.
A friend of mine, he likes a bottle of Coke. He doesn't like the stuff that comes out the pump.
Oh, and another thing, if you watch when anybody that does drink Coke or Cola or whatever, any of that stuff that's on tap, they ask you if you want any ice, and you have a look at the glass, whether you have half a pint or a pint. The glass, whichever size it is half full of ice, so they don't put much bloody Coke in there.
Yep.
Well, that was...
I totally agree with you.
I've forgotten now where we were in the States. I can't remember where it was offhand, but you get a gin and tonic, and Christ, they used to put all this ice in. You get a shot of gin, and then they'd fill it up with bloody tonic. And I remember saying to the woman that was serving at the bar, I said, hang on a minute, hang on. I'll tell you how much ice to put in it, and I'll tell you how much tonic. And the tonic come out the bloody thing that, you know, on a flexible line. So she put the gin in. I said, right, 2 pieces of that ice, that's all I want in there. And I said, don't put the lemon on the side. They sort of screw the lemon. They must cut it or something and slip it on the glass. I said, you can put that in. And when she did the tonic, I said, what? No, and she looked amazed that there was so little tonic in there and so little ice. I said, I can't taste anything when you put all that rubbish in.
No, well, you won't, will you? So it's all watered down, isn't it?
Yeah.
3 parts of a glass full of water. They're all at it. They all do it.
Can't beat out days, can you? When you used to go to pub and you'd order a pint and drink it down to an inch off bottom and say, hey, put one in that, a gel in that.
Yeah.
And you fill it at top.
Put a half in there.
We called it a gel up here. A half, yeah, put a half in and you'd fill it to top, landlord.
When you have a pint, boy, don't drink it all. And then just have a half.
Yeah.
Shilling a pint, 20 pints for £1 when I first started drinking.
Yeah. I can remember. I could go out with a £1 note in my pocket, and I could come home nearly bloody K-line, and I'd had enough to drink, and I'd probably bought a packet of cigarettes as well.
Yeah, I used to go out with a 10 bob note with my mates for going out drinking, and I'd come back with a 10 bob note.
He tells a lie there. He came back with a £1 note.
Yeah.
We used to that. One of the best tricks we used to play as lads is we'd go into Yates's wine lodge or something like that in Preston when it was busy, and we'd you'd take a £1 note out of your pocket, and you'd have it in your hand, and you'd be waving at it. Got it, 2 drinks over here, 2 drinks, and just as she was coming, you'd substitute the pound note for a 10 bob note and she'd give you change for a pound.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't do that. They're taught now, aren't they, to put it on the... either keep it in their other hand or put it on the outside of the till. And they all have a bloody separate... you can tell how tight the landlords are. They all have to have a number before they can open the till and all that crack. And it's a job to fiddle them now.
Yeah, I don't know whether the tills are fitted with a clip, because I've seen it, where they clip the note in, and the till gives them, they ring up the price, what it is, and the till tells them how much change that is, and that's it.
What do you think about that? Lad phoned me tonight from Portugal, and he says, guess what happened at bloody airport? He says, we were strip searched.
Yeah.
He says we nearly missed the bloody plane. They had to escort us onto the bloody plane.
Oh.
Well, he doesn't look a suspicious sort of lad.
He don't look like you then.
Well, I could understand if it had been me.
Yeah, I could understand that. They'd say that. You'd say, you're going to give me a strip search? And they'd say, not bloody likely, you get on the aeroplane, mate. Or they come out with those suits that they used to have in, well, I suppose they've still got them for oil fires and that, big white suit on, asbestos.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
Yeah, do you reckon they took some tan lotion off him? They took something else off him they had in his case?
That were all the wrong size then. He didn't read the instructions. He should have known that before he went to the airport.
I told him that. I said they've got all sorts of regulations now, and I said you want to check what you can take,
Yeah. Oh, that's been a standard thing for quite a while now, that has, Tony.
Yeah, if you were in a burqa, they wave you through.
Yeah. Fancy turning up at the airport with a gun belt on and 245s though, Fred.
Yeah.
Well, I must admit, the last time, that was because we flew to Los Angeles and then up to Haley in Yellowstone, but I got the mobility scooter, and I didn't even get out the mobility scooter. They came round with a sniffer thing, and that was it. That's the trouble when you look and you are an honest sort of person, Fred.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Hazelden went and one of them dogs sniffed at him and dropped dead.
I thought you were going to say it cocked his leg up.
Oh, poor old Tony. There's a pity he wasn't on tonight. He's been getting some bloody jip.
This is what happens when you don't come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they keep throwing the ground bait out, but...
Anyway, it doesn't look like our mate's coming on.
What time is it? Oh, good God above.
Yeah, yes. I'm going at 1:45.
No, I didn't realise it was that late. I ended up, last night, I ended up bloody talking to, it was last night, wasn't it? Charlie called as everybody was going off, and I think it was 2 o'clock, or was it 3? I can't remember, it was 2 or 3 o'clock when I finished talking to him.
Yeah. In the odds, does it?
Well, no, but...
Bielefeld Charlie.
Yeah. That was last night, wasn't it, Tony? Because Klaus was on as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, I waited. He just come on and I just said, I'm sorry, I'm going to go. And I went, and it was gone to then. And you said, I'll see Charlie's come on, I'll have a couple of hours with him, and then I'm going. And you must have been there an hour.
Yeah, it must have been 3 o'clock. Yeah, it was. It was 3 o'clock then. So...
Well, Tony myself stayed on late one night. Was it 4 o'clock or later, Tony?
Oh, I think it was one night we were right rabbiting away till gone 4, weren't we? Hey, have you heard the latest? How Trump's going mad. The German, because the American troops still in Germany, like, as a sort of buffer, like, in for Russians, and they've been in for years, haven't they? Last year, the Germans paid towards the cost of the American forces 192 million euros. That's 130 odd million quid, 140 million quid. That's all they paid to the cost of the United Nations, the US forces there. How Trump's going mad.
Yeah. Well, I can understand that. But, again, you see, we're pulling out, aren't we, troops from Germany, and that's upsetting old Charlie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he said he's going to lose an awful lot of business because a lot of the displays and everything are, shindigs and parties and things that they put on.
Yeah. Yes, that's not just Guy Fawkes night.
Oh.
It must be, apart from that, in Germany, this Green Party's quite big in Germany, and they'll not like all these fireworks and, going off and stuff like that, will they?
No. And he's also, this probably won't be so bad now, he was telling me last night, this morning, that they have had some rain now, but there's been a bloody drought, hasn't there, for months and months and months, and even the rivers were down, some of the fuel tankers couldn't get up to some of the places, because the one river's quite big there, isn't it? I'm not sure which it is, but... and all the trees are died around his mum, his and his mum's house where they live. I think he said 30 odd trees he's had to cut down, so they've all died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a drought.
Yeah, well, that was another thing with firework displays. They banned them because of, grass fires and that.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, well, that's what he was telling me when I last spoke to Charlie.
Yeah, because of the drought everywhere, it was so dry. He was saying they was getting all sorts of warnings about the fireworks, the danger and what have you.
Oh.
Have to move over here and start up here, won't he?
Well, I don't know. I think they stopped them. What were they called? Chinese lanterns. They were creating a few problems here. They do have problems on bonfire night, don't they? But those Chinese lantern things, I think they banned them, haven't they?
They could well. I haven't, but Diane and Derek, they've found them in my fields, where they've let them off from the community centre. They go up and drift this way.
Buggies have got a thatched roof.
Yeah, well, yeah, but even if they were to land in the cornfield at the back here, I found a couple in the field when it was a grass field, but it it was long and it was wet. But I'm sure if you went out now, that the bloody wheat in the field at the back of here now, I reckon you could probably light it with a match. It's that dry.
Yeah, thank God we've got rid of steam trains.
Yeah, because the railway sidings were forever on fire, weren't they, at one time?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Fred, that it's funny they don't have a lot more fires around Brighton area, don't they? There's a lot of arsonists round there.
Yeah. You say condoms don't catch a light, do they?
He'll have to pack up with it, won't he, out Charlie? He'll have to find something else to do.
Well,
yeah, but I mean...
Well, either that or he'll have to get another job and run in with it, I suppose. I don't suppose I could stop you doing everything, but...
Well, normally with his firework display, that's a laser display as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and music, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
It's a combination of the lot, I suppose, isn't it? Isn't all fireworks, is it?
As far as kids go, I suppose, you won't beat the firework display.
No.
Well, we gave us some nice fireworks displays here 75 years ago, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the sky was red.
They were free.
Yeah.
But we put a bigger one on for them.
Yeah.
Germany calling.
Oh, hello, Charlie. Good God.
Yeah,
your ears burning, Charlie.
Charlie.
Hello, Charlie.
Devil is listening.
Yeah.
Morning, everyone.
Yeah. Charlie, if your ears are burning, do you have that saying in Germany?
Yeah.
When people talk about you, your ears burn. You know what you should do? You should wet your finger and thumb and rub it on your ear, because that's supposed to make them wet themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, the devil is listening, yeah?
Yeah. Are the conditions better, or not?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Absolutely, much better, yeah.
Have you had rain there, then?
No, negatory. Oh, we have such fantastic weather. It's absolutely spotting on the blue sky, not a cloud in the sky. Pretty warm, 30 degrees.
Good God.
Good God. We've had nothing but rain.
Well, we haven't done this part of England.
No, we haven't
had any rain either.
No, we haven't had any rain here neither, Tony, but it hasn't been sunshine all day. It's looked like it was going to rain any time, but it hasn't.
Well, it looked like it's going to rain all day, and I went up to do the horses today, and I went out and there were 2 inches in the bottom of the wheelbarrow.
We've had no here.
Yeah, but the wheelbarrow's sloping sides, isn't it?
Yeah, but even so, 2 inches of water in the bottom, it's a fur, so it must have put a fur bit down last night.
Yeah, no, we didn't get any rain last night. Christ, and they're not forecasting it either.
Well, it's supposed to be very hot. They forecast. Somebody said we're supposed to get 30 degrees. I can't see that, but we might do.
We might get an Indian summer.
Yeah. Well, I have one of them every bloody day in Birmingham.
somebody might have to explain to Charlie about that one.
He knows what he means. It's worse where he is. Hey, Charlie, what do you think of old Merkel having, what do you think of our new Prime Minister jumping into bed with Merkel?
I don't know. I think she's moving into the background now. I think she's seriously ill. I don't hear too much from her in the recent weeks. I think she's really going backwards, trying to hide somewhere in the background.
Somebody says Germany's going into recession.
We are talking about the Brexit.
Recession?
The Brexit. We are talking about the Brexit.
What's that?
That is the German exit.
Oh, the German Brexit. The Brexit.
Yeah. Germany, in Germany begins with a D, Deutschland, and connected to exit, then it is the Brexit. The Brexit, it's just the Brexit. We are talking about that.
Oh, Christ, I don't know what France will do if Germany come out.
It will do the Brexit.
The Brexit?
Well, what will Poland do?
Exit.
The Brexit. The Brexit.
The Brexit. I don't know what's happened here. I was trying to look up the weather, but it's all gone cockeyed.
Wow.
Hey, what do you think, Fred, when John come on and started pulling his leg a bit like I had him dangling on end of line under, reeling him in.
I don't think he liked what I said. I didn't want to upset him. I just said I didn't like, I don't like it. I don't like to hear him talking about it. I don't have to listen, and I don't, so...
John will be listening, the more they'll be saying, they're talking about you, John. Oh dear. I tell you what, you can't show any sort of weakness on this net, can you? Any sort of problems or anything like that, because you get attacked from all sides.
Yeah, well... Did Anne send you what's it? I think I don't know which one she sent you, or did Dave send it you? The one I watched, I found out now there's 3 on there, besides that bloody bloke. Besides that bloke that done it, there's 3 others on there, and the one I watched before I went to bed this morning, I bloody laughed at. Wow, I couldn't stop bloody laughing, and I thought it was that funny. I watched it again this morning when I woke up.
I don't get it. Eric's talking, and then it keeps showing, like, the one I saw, it shows different politicians and sheep's heads and things like that.
No, he didn't. No, you've got to listen to it carefully. You're that bloke out of... is it the last of the... It's so long since I saw television, Tony. You're the bloke out of the last of the summer wine, aren't you?
Compo?
I don't know what his name is. Dressed up in a bit of a tatty. He's leaned over a fence for quite a while.
Yeah, but there's only Eric talking.
No, there isn't. They got me on there. It looks like I'm that bloody great big cockerel or whatever it is, and...
I haven't seen this lot.
Oh, well, you are old man's, what's his name, Steptoe, you are. And Eric is the parrot. I think Eric is the parrot, because he's got that... and every time he does that, the bloody parrot shows up. And John is the army bloke with the glasses. What out of whatever that program was?
Oh well, that's army. What you mean? Was that Jonesy?
Bloke, he wears glasses, doesn't he?
Well, Manring wore glasses and Jonesy wore glasses.
Yeah, you've got to listen to it. It's also, I think it's pretty great. I think it's quite fun. Much funnier than that. What that bloody bloke from Solihull did. That's a load of crap. But if you listen to the voices and see how the pictures come up, I think he done a bloody good job. Whoever done it, I think that he did a good job of it.
Well, that was John who did me. Do you know, or have you? No, you haven't seen Last of the Summer Wine, have you, Fred?
Oh yeah, because that was on years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Well, you had a television then. Well, John got me. Do you remember the bloke with the peak cap on? His wife had got glasses, and the bloke with the peak cap was always after, I can't remember her name, this woman. She was blonde and always had shorts, and they used to go cycling together.
Yes, I can remember them.
Well, John had got me as, his name was Howard.
Oh yeah.
And John had got me as Howard.
Well, whoever did this has got you as old man Steptoe, and they've got bloody Basildon in various forms, always asleep somewhere on a bed or on at one stage he's on a bloody conveyor belt. And if you watch it carefully and listen to it, I think whoever did it did a bloody good job of it.
Well, that was the time John had also got Tony Basildon and myself as Steptoe and Son, and they got us on a bloody horse and that. A horse and cart, yeah, but that's got to go back for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, I should think.
Yeah, well, some of this is done quite recent, because I don't know whether it's the same picture because I never saw it, but it's even got the picture of when Tony was talking about, and it's got the recording of that night when you were when I think there was you and John, Willie Mike, and Eric, and there was a picture going about. I didn't get it, but that is on there when they had a tooth extracted, and it's got a cock and balls all on the end of even that's on there. So this has been made, or some of it has been made and put together quite recently.
Yeah, well, that one with the tooth with a willy on the end was when Tony had the tooth out the other week, wasn't it, Tony?
He's probably watching it.
Oh. Yeah, well, when he had that tooth out the other week, John came up with that one with the tooth with a long string of the testicles and dongle hanging down. Yeah, that's recent.
Yes, well, I think the whole thing was done in July, because I don't really know how you can look back into it. Somebody that's really familiar on a computer probably could find out who actually did it. I don't know, but I think it's got a date on it of July, so it's not very old at all. And I can even remember hearing some of the conversations. You know, they pieced it together. They've obviously had a program or a recording system, something like, you know, Cool Edit or something like that. Some semi-professional type of, somebody that knows how to do it on the computer to have put it all together like it. I don't know. So you haven't seen it then?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
I watched. It's bloody funny, like. I think a guy that's done it's a guy called Gary, who I know.
You reckon?
Yeah, he rang me up and told me he put something on and I couldn't find it, and it must have been that.
Well, it's funny because when Cliff came on what was it, 2, 3, 4 nights ago? Late one night Cliff came on and he mentioned about the lots of stuff on YouTube, and I didn't really take any notice of what he said, and then I think Ian sent the original one to Anne. But then this other one's come about, and then Anne's looked back on YouTube and just put 1933 or something like that on there, and she's found quite a few different ones now. So somebody spent bloody hours doing stuff.
I thought that was my alarm clock.
Don't know what that was.
Hello. Yes. Oh, you're on at the moment, are you?
Hey?
No, I'm waiting for you on 3700. 3700.
Okay. Catch you in a minute.
All right, mate. Bye.
Was that Dave? Yeah, sounded like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the phone. Was on the phone, Mike gave him a call.
Ah.
I'm off to 3700. Catch you tomorrow. Cheers, lads.
Hey, it's 697 being interfered with then, Mike.
Oh, that was on Charlie's phone, wasn't it? See you, Mike.
Yeah, cheers, well, I'm going at 1.
Well, it's nearly that now, isn't it? So I should do. I should do likewise. So you haven't seen that then, Ken, yet?
No.
Has anybody
was
got
it on YouTube or something, or what? 1933 or?
That particular one. What? Can you see? Have you got it up there at the moment, Tony? Is it called 1933 with halos or something?
Oh, I don't know. I'm looking for it on YouTube. I've got it on my desktop. I'll send it, you can.
Okay, thanks. Send it there. When I go in, I can have a look at it when I have my tomato and cheese.
I'll tell you what, Ken, I'm sure you'll have a laugh.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. I do when
It's bloody funny.
Well, the one where he got me down as Howard. That's a bit funny because, well, I very seldom wear trousers and sports jacket. But I do wear, I've got I call it my Fred Dibner hat. That's an old corduroy peak cap, and that's well worn and a bit, well, it's been through the washing machine several times, but it gets a bit oily and greasy and grubby.
Yep. Yeah, I've sent it. It's gone that. But I can't see where anything refers to on it, Fred.
When you're talking.
I'd never said I wasn't on.
What do you mean you wasn't on?
I've listened through the tube and I'm not on.
Have you got the right one? You were on there when you were telling that joke about the bloke with the come out of the pub with the golf balls. That's on there. There's loads of you on there. There's probably more on there of you talking than anybody else.
Yeah, but I haven't got that one. That's not the one I've got. I've got the one where it keeps going to Captain Manring every time John speaks.
Well, they both do that. They both do that. But the one where there's more of you has got Topband and Halos or something like that. Is the heading 1933 with halos or something like that? Is the heading?
Well, I'm going in now, lads, and I shall have a look. I'll look round several things. I don't normally travel, but I will tonight. Okay, I'm going to say night-night, Tony. Night-night, Fred. Night-night, Charlie, unless you've gone off to 80 metres. And I'll hear you all again tonight or in the early hours of tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
G4KDH signing.
Yeah, okay, Ken, I'm going to go off as well, so I'm not going to let Charlie keep me up until more nights like that, and I shall be dead, so I'm going as well, Tony, so I'll leave you with Charlie if Charlie's staying. Good night, Ken, Charlie, and Tony, and anybody else that's listening. I've had a laugh again tonight, so catch you all later. G0HQ. Cheers all.
Okay, good night, Ken. Good night, Fred.
Cheers, Charlie. All the best. I'm off as well. No, I can't find it. You'll have to get Anne to send it. Good night, Ken. I'll see you, Fred. All the best. Bye.
All right. I'll get her to send it you, Tom. I'll get Anne to send it to you. Okay.
Roger, good night.
Yeah, okay. And I will have a jump on the dark side of life. 03 guys, CG1YAJ.